Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. You ready to bet on UFC? I am. Alright, let's get on, man. We're going to be going over this week's card, man. The BMF title's on the line. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Title's on the line. You already know, man. We got about 12 fights to go over, you know. Let's just go over how we went last week, though. Last week, UFC London card, wow. Great fights on there. Out of 15 fights, we covered what? All of them, and I think we went 11-4 on there. So, you know, definitely a good week on there. Premium picks, definitely a great week on there. We went 5-1 on there. So if you guys want to see my best bets and what I'm betting on, head on over to the site, Pick Dawgz. I got everything up for you guys. Not just me. I got a team of the best handicappers over there on the world. Now, let's get on over with the card. All right, starting off with the first fight of the night. Who we going to be talking about? Got called up on short notice. Miranda Maverick steps back in the cage. 11-5 record right now. Taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. 12-4 record. Talk about the both fighters. All right, Miranda Maverick was a big favorite in her last fight out. Last fight out didn't go her way. She got poked in the eye versus Jasmine Javicius, and she ended up losing the decision. Priscilla Cachoeira last time out, she was a big underdog, and she won that fight. I was at that event. It was in San Diego on the Cruz versus Vera card. I'ma just keep it sweet and simple. I'm going to go with Miranda Maverick, the top gun. I think she's going to get it done. She's going to win inside the distance. I'm calling it round 2 finish. Moving on down the card. Matthew Simmonsberger taking on Urso Medic in the welterweight division. 11-5 record for your boy Simmonsberger. Urso Medic 8-1. Let's go over the records in the history. Matthew Simmonsberger, last fight out, he fought Jeremiah Wells. Wasn't able to get it done. I had Jeremiah Wells in there. He was able to get it done. Before that, he pulled off a good win. Again, against a fighter who's fighting on this card, Jake Matthews. Okay, so, you know, he's been tested. He's fought a lot of tough people in the division. Hasn't really had no easy fights. Urso Medic, he looked good in his last fight out. That was against Omar Morales. He took some time off, about a year or so. Stepping up into this weight class now. You know, he hasn't fought at this weight class yet in the UFC, but hey, we'll see. In this one, I gotta say I like Matthew Simmonsberger to get it done. Urso Medic, I did like him when he came up out of the Contender Series, his first 2 fights in the UFC. Since then, I really hasn't been following his career too much as far as betting him. All right, next fight on the card. CJ Vergara taking on Vinicius Salvador. CJ Vergara, 11-4 record, taking on Vinicius Salvador, 14 wins, 5 losses. CJ Vergara, we had him in a parlay last time out. Man, it's crazy. A lot of these fighters that's fighting, man, I just seen them fight this year. I seen this guy fight at the San Antonio card, though, on the who was it? Chito Vera versus Corey Sandhagen card. CJ Vergara, man, he wasn't looking good in round 1, but he turned around the fight and was able to get it done. He was a big favorite in that fight. Vinicius Salvador, really can't trust him. One of those guys that hits with power. I think CJ Vergara gets it up. The price tag's like a -150 on Vergara. I think that's warranted. Moving on down the card. This fight's going to be taking place in the welterweight division. Fighter stepping up on short notice. Who's that? Darius Flowers, 12-5-1, taking on UFC veteran, we all know the name, Jake Matthews, the Celtic Kid, the Celtic Pride. 18 wins, 6 losses. All right, he was supposed to be facing Miguel Baeza. Miguel Baeza pulled out. Now you got Darius Flowers. Darius Flowers looked good off his Contender Series debut. I think he had a fight scheduled before, but he had to get it put on hold for some type of substance or something like that. It was serving a 6-month suspension or something like that. On this one, I think Jake Matthews gets it done. He's a big favorite on there, though, but I think he wins by the decision. But Darius Flowers is live, man. He throws with power, and he can counter and clock Jake Matthews. So I will tell you guys, tread lightly. You know, this is not one that I'm saying the dog's out the cage, but the dog's nibbling at the fence on that one. Moving on down the card, taking place in the middleweight division. Roman Kapilov, 10 wins, 2 losses, taking on Claudio Ribeiro, the dancing man from the Contender Series. 11 wins, 3 losses, representing Brazil. This one, you got a Russian fighter versus Brazilian fighter, right? But don't worry, because none of them fight like that. It's going to be a striking match, folks. You got 2 pretty much kickboxers who like to stand up there and bang. So, when it comes down to it, the underdog has more ways to win, if you ask me, and that's going to be Claudio Ribeiro. Everybody's liking Kapilov on this one. I'm going to go ahead and say it. The dog's out the cage in this one, man. I think Ribeiro can get it done in this one. I'm not going to be betting Kapilov and thinking that he's a minus 260 favorite and he's just going to walk through this guy. Let's rewind the tracks now. He's getting better in his last 2 fights. 3 fights ago, we were like, oh, man, this guy's trash. 4 fights ago, we really thought he was trash. So, you know, when it comes down to it, man, I get it. He is improving and stuff, but I think the dog's going to be out the cage in that one. Claudio Ribeiro, man, I think he walks out there with his wife or his trainer or his coach, but man, she gives him a look of motivation. She tells him, go in there, get this. Like, it's motivating, man. So I think we're going to be seeing Claudio Ribeiro doing some dancing moves after he gets the win in that one. Moving on down the card, we got a banger alert. Banger alert. Before we do that, though, I need all you guys to go ahead and smash the like button for me one time. And then, after that, let me know, what was your favorite Derek Lewis moment in the UFC? I'm going to give you a moment. Go ahead. Think about it. Favorite moment, favorite fight, favorite knockout, favorite bet from Derek Lewis. You type that in for me. Now you remember that, right? Cool. Because this is going to be the last time you're going to be seeing Derek Lewis step in the cage, if you ask me, man. Derek Lewis taking on Marco Rogério Dilemma. Derek Lewis, 26 wins, 11 losses. Dilemma has 21 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. Okay, big favorite, Dilemma. Okay, he opened up at a minus 130. My boy Marcus Williams, proud owner of the Nubian bookstore, he smashed that line like a month ago. But, you know, we followed back on it, you know, about 3 weeks ago. Now the line's all the way up to a minus 170. Now up to this moment, I think it's up to a minus 200 on there. Derek Lewis is always live. He can knock out anybody. But he's a fighter who has that one punch type of power. That one punch type of power, guess what? I don't really bet on fighters like that. I've been fading him a lot in his career. And I think he should have been, I think he was ready to retire about 2 fights ago. But he was able to get that win over Pick Dawgz. And man, I'm trying to tell you, Derek Lewis gets paid a lot of money when he goes out there and fights. So it's kind of hard to say no to the dough, if you get what I mean. But I think Dilemma's going to put him out right here, and I think this is going to be the last we're going to see of the Black Beast. He was real entertaining, though. You know, gave us some good fights to see, but I just think this is it for him. Dilemma's going to get this one done. He's going to finish him inside the distance with this one. All right, but let me phrase it. This is one where the dog could be out. The dog could be nibbling. Okay, so watch it and tread lightly. All right, moving on down the card, welterweight division. Trevin taking on Gabriel Bonfim. I'm going to just keep it nice and sweet. I like Gabriel Bonfim to get it done. He's a big favorite in there. Trevin has been up and down in different weight classes, but Trevin do have a lot of fight experience. And if this goes past the second round, hey, it could be, you know, a closer fight than what we see. Moving on up to the main card, Kevin Holland, welterweight division, take on Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa, 16 wins, 6 losses, former Ultimate Fighter winner. Kevin Holland, we all know that guy. Betting the odds, Kevin Holland's like a minus 145 favorite. Chiesa hasn't fought since a year and a half, but Chiesa's not a fighter. He's really just a grappler, wrestler type of guy that's going to get you down and hold you down. He's a fighter, folks. I'm just playing. But, man, I used to love betting on Michael Chiesa. I made money on him against Dos Anjos, you know, because I know what he's going to do. He's going to go out there and try to take you down to the ground. I think it's going to be too much for your boy Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland's going to keep it on the feet, maybe get taken down 2 or 3 times, but I think he's going to put out Michael Chiesa, and Michael Chiesa might be retiring tonight on this night as well. Kevin Holland wins inside the distance. He can win inside the distance by submission or on the hand, so I think he's going to go get him done in round 3. Let's go. Kevin Holland on that one. Next, Bobby Green taking on Tony Ferguson. Bobby Green's a big favorite, minus 300. Taking on Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's done, folks. Bobby Green is the play right there. Go ahead, put him in your parlay. Welterweight division, we got so many fights on there. Say hello to the other dancing guy, the backflipping guy who does it in the ring. Michael Poirier, 28 wins, 11 losses, the underdog, taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We all know the story with him. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson just came off a win with Kevin Holland. I think he's on the out end of his career. He's the favorite in there, though. It's a minus 160. The dog is out the cage, folks. I like Michael Poirier in here all day. I've been betting on him for his last 4 times, and I'm going to keep it going on this one. Yeah, and you hear it. That means the dog's out the cage, folks. The dog's out the cage. Co-main event time. Jan Blachowicz, 29 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw, takes on Alex Pereira. 7 wins, 2 losses. Stepping up to the division now, man. Alex Pereira was just a middleweight, what, 3-4 months ago? Man, he was just the champion, right? Then he got knocked out by Israel Adesanya. Man, that was a hell of a fight right there. So what happened? He moves up to a different weight class. Now he's fighting Jan Blachowicz. Whoever wins this fight pretty much is going to be fighting for the title next after whoever else gets the title shot, I think. But the gambling odds on here, let's talk about it. It was a pick'em price pretty much all the way out through the week. Now, Jan Blachowicz is up to a -120. The comeback on Alex Pereira's like a +110 out there, you know. Both these fighters have ways to finish each other. I think fight's not going to go the distance in this one. If I'm going to take a pick, I'm going to go with the dog on this one. The dog's going to be out the cage. I think Alex Pereira just needs 1 or 2 of those deadly left hooks to touch the chin of Jan Blachowicz, and he's going to go out to sleep. Same thing could be said, though, about Jan Blachowicz. Alex Pereira, you know, he's been getting touched up in these fights, too, you know. So, you know, best pick, fight not going the distance in this. Co-main event fight, though, going to be one of the better fights on the card on there. Let me know who you guys are betting on, though. Who you guys got for this card? How'd you guys do last week? And, hey, man, you guys heard John Jones versus Stipe. It's going down. Madison Square Garden, November. Can't wait for that one, right? All right. So before we get on to the main event, I'm going to need all you guys to do one thing. And head on over to the site, see what we got up going for you guys today, man. Guaranteed you'll find something that you like. Check out the packages that we got. You can't go wrong. My UFC package will be up in there in the next day or two. Get the 3-day pass. Besides that, check out everything else that we got going on the site. Daily videos on YouTube for you. Just hit the like button, subscribe. That's what we do here at Pick Dawgz. Now let's keep it going. All right, main event. Who we got going on? We got Dustin Poirier stepping back in the cage, 29-7, taking on Justin Gaethje, his old friend that he already fought. 24 wins, only 4 losses. All right. This right here is for the vacant BMF title. Yes, the BMF title. This one's vacant because Jorge Masvidal was the champion of that. He retired and said, hey, man, I'm out the game. So now the title's up, and whoever wants it, you can get it. All right, let's speak about it, though. The first fight, Dustin Poirier was able to win that one. And in that one, he was a slight favorite. He was only like a -115. He was getting his legs cut up by Justin Gaethje, but he was able to get the win in the 4th round. Dustin Poirier was able to use that clean boxing that he has down there. Man, I'll be honest, Dustin Poirier has some of the best boxing in the UFC. Oh, man. His uppercuts are clean. The way he throws his jab, he sets up everything. He's technically sound. He's definitely a student of the game. I was actually able to interview him and talk to him about that, you know, on site at one of the Bellator events. So, yeah, shout out to him for that. But on this one, now you got Dustin Poirier, -130 favorite. You know, the comeback on Justin Gaethje's +105, +110. I think this fight could go either way on it, man, because Justin Gaethje, he's been looking good, man. That last fight out against Fiziev, he was able to get that win. You know, not just that, he was able to get the win also, too, in another fight against Chandler. So it's like, you know, he's looking like right now, this is his last little title run. Same could be said about Dustin Poirier. The only thing is, though, Dustin Poirier hasn't been as more active as Justin Gaethje has. The pick in here, I'm going to go with Diamond, man. Diamond Dustin Poirier, man. I think he's going to be able to get it done again in this one. One thing I did notice about the fight, he was able to take down Justin Gaethje at will in the very beginning of the fight easily by just getting close to him and setting it up with the boxing. But when he was trying to go for the takedowns later on in the fight and setting them up, he was getting stuffed by Justin Gaethje on there. So that's something I'm going to be looking for in this fight. But if you ask me, I think this fight's going to finish, I say again, in round 3 or 4. So, yeah, Dustin Diamond Poirier is going to be able to get it done in that one. All right, folks. Now, look, man, let's go over the whole card and let you guys know exactly what, you know, we're going over and give you guys a recap, okay? But before I do that, Smash that like button for me. What's your best parlay that you like so far? What's your best underdog that you think's out the cage? Let me know what dog is out the cage. All right, first fight of the night, big favorite Miranda Maverick. You know how it goes. We going with her right there to get the job done versus Priscilla Cachoeira, but I will say that fight's going to be live. It's really going to be live. Matthew Simsenberger versus Urso Medic. We're going with Simsenberger. CJ Vergara versus Salvador. We're taking Vergara. Matthews versus Flowers. We're going with Matthews to get it done. Kopilov versus Claudio Ribeiro. We're going with the dog in that one. We're going with Ribeiro. DeLima versus Derek Lewis. We got DeLima all day in that one. Gabriel Bonfim versus Trevor Giles. Not a fight I'm really interested in, but I think Bonfim gets it done. Kevin Holland versus Michael Chiesa. This fight right here, the dog could be out the cage for sure, man. If Michael Chiesa is able to get him down to the ground, he can be out the cage, but I'm going with Kevin Holland. Next fight on the card, Bobby Green versus Tony Ferguson. Bobby Green's going to get it done. Michael Pierre versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We're taking Pierre. Alex Pereira versus Jan Blachowicz. We're taking Pierre again. Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. We're going with Poirier. All right, man. It's Millz Youngs. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the session and you like UFC. If you like betting on UFC, then come over here and bet with me. Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. See you guys same time next week.